This is CBS 42's Friday Football Fever, sponsored by Southeast Grain and Hoist.
Thanks for watching CBS 42 Friday Football Fever with Patrick and Florence.
But of course, ladies, thank you, and thank you for watching Friday Football Fever. Patrick Claiborne, Lawrence Sisler, another great night of high school football.
That is right, and the rain, rearing its head today, but fortunately it cleared up for kickoff, at least here in the Birmingham area. Round 2 of the playoffs, it's fight or flight in Coleman and Southside Gadsden meeting for the first time ever. Bearcat quarterback Tyler Glenn drops back inside the Southside 20, connects to Mason Goodwin for the score. Coach Ron Doherty on the sideline, not a happy camper. Southside answers on the next drive. Tailback Blake Devine takes it around right in, breaks the tackle, takes it to the House. Southside wins 28-21.
Elsewhere, Southside Gadsden gets the winner of this one. Pinson and Bo Jackador, the Indians up 3-zip, and then Nick Gibson busts up the middle for the score to tap off a 99-yard drive to go up 10-0, but McAdory comes back. Kyron Moore finds Corey Vanderbilt, 15-yard pass, Jackets down 10-7, and then right before the half, it's more Justin Mabry off to the races. McAdory up 13-10 at the half. McAdory advances to the next round of the playoffs. They get the win, 34-10.
Now the Southeast Grain and Hoist Game of the Week.
Folks, we love it. Get the cranes out because it's time for Game of the Week.
Yeah, no, do the heavy lifting. We know that little jingle.
Yes,
Just like our Game of the Week crew, Chris Womack, Scott McDowell, Marlon Price. Christopher, what is up?
Well, not too much, Lauren. We have a third-round opponent from our game. Coming into this game, the two teams were 19-3, but round 3 looked them squarely in the face and said, this round ain't big enough for the both of you. Homewood, Saraland, trying to see who's going to be the first to go to the third round since '06. Early first quarter, Walter Rutledge walks in from 6 yards out, giving Homewood the 7-0 lead. But Saraland brought their big boy hammer, and they named him Leanders Burrows, who's going to groundhog his way in from 4 yards out. But Homewood would take a 14-7 lead into the half. That's when Nick Williams, ice skating around left end, dives in from 3 yards out. That would tie the game at 14. They would take a 21-14 lead, and that's when Carson Griffiths, his pass volleys off Grant Copeland into the hands of Zach Jones. They're celebrating in Saraland tonight. And that's because they came out on top 21-14, and there were several times when Saraland could have given up, but they didn't. They fought back, and they won 21-14 after the game. Coach Kelly said he's proud of his guys for sticking in there.
Hey, heck, I wouldn't count these guys out one bit. They got so much heart, so much fight. Had every reason tonight to quit, and you had a bunch of things going against us early on, but they kept, they just keep fighting. They kept working, and we kept making plays.
Now the Southeast Grain and Hoist heavy lifter of the game.
And this was one of those games when you could have really picked any number of guys to be the heavy lifter, but we went with a guy that sealed the game for Saraland, and that's number 17, Zach Woodham. He picked off Carson Griffiths with less than 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining to ice the game for Saraland. It was one of 3 picks on the day for the Spartan D. Afterwards, he said, after everything he and his fellow seniors have gone through, this feels amazing.
It feels great. This is for all the fans, for everybody, all the teammates that just, we worked so hard. Went from winning 4 games our freshman year to 11-1 now. It's great.
And the thing about the playoffs, you never really get an easy week. Next week, Saraland's got St. Paul's. Lauren, Patrick, back to you.
Thanks, Chris. We'll be back out to him in just a bit. But, Lauren, you were at another playoff matchup here in Birmingham tonight, right?
Yes, sir, I was. Parker at home against Muscle Shoals.
Strong.
The Herd mascot here. Yeah, he's flexing his muscles.
What is he, though?
He's a thundering herd. And so are the Trojans flexing their muscles tonight. Landon Smothers hands off to Zachary Sullivan. He pushes past the D, and he's going into the end zone. A little kneel for him. Now, Sullivan, also a distance runner. Check this. He's going to cut this one to the left sideline. He's going to push past the defense. He's headed to the end zone. But wait a sec. He's going to be brought down 4 yards short of the goal line. Yeah, that was a 79-yard game, and Cavante McDonald will finish off the drive with the touchdown. Muscle Shoals shuts out the Herd tonight, 31-0.
All right, elsewhere, we got Pleasant Grove against Athens. First ever meeting between the two schools. There's another ambiguously humanoid mascot. Second quarter, 10-0 Athens. Pleasant Grove driving. Snap gets away from Charles Buchanan, picks it up, but is quickly dropped by Tywin Jones. That drive would stall. Athens now with the ball. Stephen Farmer looking for Tariq Malone, the wide receiver screen. Cuts back, nice game, but that drive would stall as well. So we're looking for some offense. Seconds left in the half. Spartans with the ball. DeJuan Fegan deep
Airing it out
to Jacob Sloan, dives but drops it in the end zone. Scored that 10-0. Third quarter, same score. Golden Eagles trying to extend the lead. Farmer goes deep, but this one's picked off by Anthony Thomas. But Athens, though, we get the shutout. They win over Pleasant Grove 24-0.
All right, now it's time to roll into the locker room for a halftime pep talk,
Yeah,
Patrick.
plenty more highlights to come back when we've got our pep talk on Friday Football Fever. We've got the big possible showdown between Hoover and ClayChalkville. Will both teams hold up to their end of the bargain? We'll see that coming up. And also, it's so good every time. We're going inside the game for tonight's Mic'd Up. In the words of the late Mr. Food, ooh, it's so good. More Fever when we return.
Hey, check it out. It's our Alpha fan cam, and these fans are super excited. Why? Well, they're excited to still be watching their team playing in the postseason, and it ain't over until it is over. Now, more teams rolling on in round 3, a big 6A matchup in the balance right now.
Yeah, we have the potential for a Hoover and ClayChalkville matchup next week, but the Cougars would need to hold up their end of the bargain against Florence and their big-time playmakers. They had Kendrick Doss, the Ole Miss commit, on fire. He's got Rodney here, and Rodney's gone 64 yards for the score. Florence up 7-0, but Coach Hood's team would tie it up. Florence kicks a field goal. They're up 3, but Hayden Moore to Brian Clark. This connection has been spectacular over the year. 58 yards. Clark goes to the house. This one
In
back
the living
and forth. Florence and Kendrick Doss too much, though. They score with 23 seconds to go. They end ClayChalkville's season 37-30. So we all loved the Mic'd Up segments with Coach Jerry Hood. He was one of our favorite participants. That ends their season. ClayChalkville, a great season, another great season for ClayChalkville. Absolutely.
Now, Chris Womack back with us now. Who do we have for Mic'd Up tonight?
Well, tonight it's going to be Homewood head coach Doug Goodwin, and even though the Patriots came into tonight with a 9-2 record, it's a long season. I mean, we're talking about the 12th week, and so he tells us how he keeps his team fired up in this week's Mic'd Up.
Now get mic'd up, sponsored by Alabama Telco Credit Union.
Hey, don't bring nothing back in this locker room tonight when this thing's over. You hear me? Leave it all on the field. You got nothing to save it for. You want them to be fired up, you know, you do or die situation. Dixon! Widen this way. Get up in there. Well, there's the 21. We'll take that. Purple Zorro, Alcatraz, 9-1, 13-6. Got him. Somebody slants the field again here. Attaboy. Go, Walt. Go, baby. Go, Walter. We're in business. Oh, crap.
On the first in the corner bail, but we still had 1-on-2.
Right there. Boom. Yeah! Go get it! Yeah, all right! Yeah! Woo!
Come on, get in there, Walter.
Yeah! Attaboy, Walter, good job! Yeah! As you get older, everything's just more special to you, I think, because, you know, you mature, but, you know, we got great kids. We got great coaches. It's a joy to come to work every day and be around them, and, you know, and they play as hard as they can for us, so that's what makes it special to me. Good job. Get a good kick.
Tough end to a great season, and unfortunately Homewood isn't alone. Their fellow region mates Briarwood and Sylacauga also fell tonight. PC, Lauren, back to you.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, not a great night for a lot of our teams, but some folks did get some wins tonight.
Absolutely. Another first-time matchup, Bessemer City at Vestavia Hills. Vestavia hosting Bessemer City, and we go straight to the fourth quarter. The Rebels up 31-20 when Marcus Key's going to find Ricky McCall here in double coverage for a 66-yard gain. And he's going. Tigers are going to punch it in on the next play to make it 31-28. And then after a stop, Tigers will get the ball again, but Latravian Armstrong, he's strong. His pass is picked by Sam Baker. Rebels survive and advance. Here is Coach Anderson.
I am so proud of them. Our kids, I don't know what to do because, when things weren't going right, we just buckled down and made some plays when we needed to.
How about Jacksonville and Aniana today? Some 4A action, right?
Yeah, Aniana calling themselves the Redskins, but they played like the Groundhogs. Senior Charles Reed there carries it in for 6. Redskins go up 14-zip. Now head coach Don Jacobs with the hand signals, and they work. It's under the lights, but Terrell McDaniel sees daylight up the middle for 6. Aniana is going to win this one big time over Jacksonville. Your final score 56-7.
And what about Central Clay and Bibb County? They took the opening kickoff 65 yards downfield where Jalen Lyles would finish the drive here. Scored the touchdown from 4 yards out. It would be 7-0 Volunteers. Later in the second, they're backed up to their own 2-yard line. Jalen Lyles takes the handoff coming up here. Up the middle, finds nothing but daylight, 94 yards down the right sideline before being tackled at the Bibb County 4-yard line. On the ensuing play after he's rumbling, stumbling all the way to the end zone. They go up 14-0. So late in the second, we fade to Bibb County on their 5-yard line. Quarterback Terry Lockett pitches the ball to Justin Diedrich, tackled at the end zone by Lamont Burney for the safety. They led 16-0 at the half. They'd go on and get the victory by the final score, 23-6.
All right, midfield hosting TR Miller tonight. Hey, watch out. Woo. Tigers on fire with a handoff here from Keon Smith to McHenry Coleman. He's throwing it into the end zone, and the midfield cheerers, they're going to strike up the motivational cheering, but unfortunately the duo, they're going to strike again, this time Smith to Coleman. It's going airborne. TR Miller will win this ball game 41-6.
And check this out, folks. It is time for our play of the game. Justin Mabry going into the end zone. McAdory up 13-0 at the half. One of a handful of teams that we have here in the 205 area code. They got the win. They survive and advance. We're leaning on McAdory to try to get a win. That's a wrap up on week 12 of high school football. We got some college football coming up this weekend.
Plenty of college football action. We're going to be in Stark Vegas with Melissa Kemp, rolling the dice a little bit.
I love it. Listen to a few cowbells. And what about you? You got a big game tomorrow.
Got a big game, the Deep South's oldest rivalry. That game on CBS 42 at 2:30. But we got our pregame coverage starting at 1 o'clock. You can hear it all as Aaron Murray, Nick Marshall, and the gang get ready to go head-to-head in the big matchup. And, of course, we will have all the coverage day and night.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time, folks. Thanks for joining us today. Be sure to join us tomorrow for Inside College Football. Have a good night.